My name is Young Kang. I am a Korean American from New York. I'm a serial entrepreneur who has lived in Singapore for about 6 years. Of course I am. Yeah, I think the world is actually in a much better place today than it was before in certain dimensions. I think we are more educated. There's less poverty. There's less violence. There's less hunger issues. So, do we have problems? Yes, but overall, I think humanity is on a positive trajectory. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm realistically optimistic. I don't think we should sit back and just expect things to be more positive. I think it's more positive when people like entrepreneurs are doing things to make the world better, and I think that we all have a responsibility and a role. Well, I look up to different people for different things. Um, I look up to, people in my family like my sister because she's a great mother, and she is, yeah, she's brought up these three beautiful girls, and so she's able to, they're smart, they're whole people, so I admire her for that. I look up to her for that. I admire some of my girlfriends who are just rocking it, making huge impact in the world. My friend Mel, she runs the national NVPC, and she's like doing volunteer and really catalyzing volunteerism in Singapore and doing huge things. So I get motivated and inspired by people like that. I get inspired by one of my mentors, Erwin, who's a creative guy who's written so many books and thought leadership about, faith and creativity. And yeah, I get inspired and motivated by, my friend David, who is a chef from Brazil, who is cooking food for the favelas and wanting to really kind of catalyze, food for everyone and, healthy food. And so I think I get inspired by lots of people, actually. People who live full lives, people who pursue their passions, people who have the courage to step out of the norm. And yeah, this is just so many people when you say that. I'm like thinking of all these faces of people that I'm inspired by. I think I would like to see more intentionality of values being played out in the different businesses that are being started. I think a lot of entrepreneurs take a neutral point of view when it comes to this, or try to take a neutral point of view, but the reality is there's nothing neutral. It's either positive or negative in terms of influence and impact to society. So as we're solving business problems, it's not just an objective problem. There's always subjectivity and a cultural context. So I would love to see entrepreneurs be more intentional about that, because entrepreneurs hire people, create job employment, capability building, economic development, right? So because entrepreneurs play such a critical role in economic development, I think we need to have a point of view on this, about the world or the economy we're developing. Yeah, I think that's a good word. I would like to see more holistic entrepreneurs who have good character, who are good role models for society. I think there are many who are actually. Some of the most inspiring people are entrepreneurs. Non-entrepreneurs are inspiring too, but in my world, I think it's quite inspiring, to interact. I mean, my first book, Inside Out, was inspired by an entrepreneur. He was the founder of Banyan Tree, Ho Kwon Ping, in Singapore. Banyan Tree, the hotel and resort group. He was telling his story about why he started Banyan Tree, and I was so inspired by his story. He was a journalist who became a hotelier, because of purpose. He wanted to do economic development, and develop the local economy and, give jobs to the people through hospitality. And it was just so inspiring that I ended up writing a book because I was so inspired by that story, and I wanted more people to read his story. That being smart is not enough. Yeah, I think if I had learned that building relationships, learning how to partner with people, to listen and to be more relational, if I had known how important that was, I think that would have benefited me a lot. I think I was so focused on the IQ side of being right, of knowing things versus being. I think I would have loved to learn that much younger and earlier in my life. I think it would have given me a longer, more joyful life.